Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Sounds Like Autism. This is a little bit different than before, considering the fact that Dave, would you like to say the new location of half of SLA?
Awesome to be here. It's been a little while. We haven't had a new episode since April. We took a little bit of time off to take care of some personal and professional business that we have going on. And like Josh said, we look a little bit different, sound a little bit different, but all positive movements in our worlds. Um, Dave, half of SLA, has relocated to Tennessee. I'm living right outside of Nashville, Tennessee, but I'm still very much a part of SLA, very much still a part of the Nicholas Center and Spectrum Designs Foundation and the Zoomiverse. And I'm so lucky to be able to do what I need to do for my family. And so we're back at it. It's only a little bit different. Josh and I don't have to wear masks when we meet now because it's all virtual, which is awesome. And I'm so glad to be here, back at it.
Yeah, and I must say, I didn't even tell you that I was going to go into this on air, but I'm really jealous of Dave because I'm a huge aviation and military buff, and I found out recently that Dave lives right by some sort of military base or something. So he sent me videos like all these really cool things, and he's like, "Oh, they're so noisy, Josh." And I'm like, "Man, that's awesome!" So, um, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
really
I'm
jealous.
I'm right below a helicopter highway, but overall everything's really comfortable. Everyone's good, and yeah, I'm just glad to be back. So if you hear a chopper above me, just don't mind me. And Josh will be completely distracted. This will turn into an aviation podcast.
No, it will. He's not exaggerating about that part at all. It will. It will.
Yeah, but that being said, everything's good with me, and that's kind of my update. What's up with you, man?
I mean, just representing New York here, back at New York. Nothing much. Recently, as you know, and if you follow us on our Instagram, especially, you know this. If not, totally follow Sounds Like Autism on Instagram. We have a cool Instagram page. So yeah. I recently got senatorially appointed to the New York State Autism Advisory Board. So basically, in a quick nutshell, what that is I am now representing all the Audis, as I call them, or fellow autistic individuals in the state of New York. Um, and so their needs and stuff, I voice and all that stuff. So it's an honor. And if any of the senators or anyone's listening, thank you for your trust in me. And yeah.
Yeah, it is a really exciting thing to witness. Really proud of you, and it's exciting because it's not just this kind of token board that was put together just to
Oh.
show that people care or check off a box.
Yeah.
They're really making some awesome decisions and making an impact. The first one was shown live, and I was present for it, and it was really incredible to see that those kinds of conversations happening between self-advocates and elected officials and bigwigs from various organizations throughout the state. It's really cool. And that said, I may be appointed to something similar soon. We'll have to talk about that in the next episode. But anyway, one of the really exciting things about this season of Sounds Like Autism is that we're on tour despite all the limitations with traveling.
Virtually.
Yeah,
Virtually.
we're virtually on tour. So um, that said, where better to stop than allow me to get a little bit more familiar with my new home state. So we're in Tennessee this time. Welcome virtually, Josh, to Tennessee.
It's
And
great to be here. Great to be
yeah,
here
and
virtually.
and if you'd like to tell the audience a little bit about our really special guest today.
Yeah. So our really special guest, it's this place which is in again the food service industry, and if you've been listening, I was once in the food service industry, so I know how in the past it was not really good for people with differences. But again, this place, Sweet Jordan's, it's called. It's kind of like I say, I'm kind of reinventing the game for people with differences in the food service industry. So it's always, for me, very personal whenever we have a guest on or a company, organization, whatever, in that field, because it brings back a lot of memories and just seeing how progress is going, and also in such a short period of time, and what is possible for the future. Yeah, so it means something a little bit different to me than I think other people.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that being said, I'm so pleased to be able to have Brody and Jessica from Sweet Jordans on the show. Uh, this is a really cool and different take on autism employment and inclusive employment, and that's
A
the whole.
sweet take, a sweet
Oh,
take.
good one. Yeah, and that's the whole point of Sounds Like Autism, is to get the conversation going and figure out how people do what they do. So welcome to the show, Brody and Jessica. Please tell us your names and a little bit about yourself.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Hi, my name is Brody, and I like playing Paper Mario: The Origami King on the Nintendo Switch because this is the sixth game. And hold on, get it. Okay, this is the sixth game in the Paper Mario series.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I am Sweet Jordan's little sister, and I handle all of our PR, social media, and our website design and online orders here at Sweet Jordan's.
So awesome to connect with you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's awesome with the Mario game. I remember, Mario. I don't play video games so much anymore, but when I was younger, I mean, Mario's like a legend, man. So, with that being said, how do you like working at Sweet Jordan's? How is it?
I give it a 5 stars because I am never quitting my job here.
Wow, I love working here. I actually gave up my career in kids ministry to come and work here full time, just because I love these special team members and everything that we're doing in their lives.
Right.
It sounds like a really awesome place to be and to work, and it's only about an hour away from where I am, just outside of Nashville, so I can't wait to check it out.
Well, only an hour away from Daveland. That's pretty neat. So also, I mean, your responses, I could feel, are very passion felt. I really like that. So how did you come up with the idea for Sweet Jordans? And tell us how it went from an idea to reality. I always find that interesting.
Yes, so Sweet Jordan's kind of started with Sweet Jordan started with the idea that once my brother graduated high school, there wasn't a lot of opportunities for him. So he would basically sit at home all day and watch Price is Right and pretend to be Drew Carey. So occasionally, if you're walking through the house, you would hear, "It's a new car."
Hold it right there. Did you say The Price is Right?
The Price is Right.
I love that game show.
I know, I do too. So does Jordan. So he was sitting at home doing that. And we actually found an old family recipe for cookies, and we had been kind of working on it and perfecting it for a bit to give and donate to a local charity here called Helping Hands. It benefits a lot of charities in the community. And so whenever we were doing that, people were like, "Man, you guys should sell this." And we thought, well, maybe this is something that we could turn into, that Jordan would be able to have somewhere to go and somewhere to be and be out in the community more. So we did that. We started kind of selling it out of our home. Well, then they're like, "Oh, you're getting a little too big for your home." And so we were like, "All right, God, let's start Sweet Jordan's." So we got more family recipes together and had a friend that said, "Look, I think you guys should make ice cream too." So we're like, "Okay, I guess we're making ice cream." And we really didn't know just how many individuals in this community needed something like Sweet Jordan's until we put it out there of, "Hey guys, we're going to start this thing. We want to employ special needs individuals." And it was like applications started pouring in. I think we got 25 within a period of about a week. It's a lot, but yeah, so we kind of started this and with the community's help, and yeah, so here we are today.
Yeah, we love Inception stories and learning about how social enterprises come about, because it's only been about 10 years or so since programs like this and businesses like this have really been around and growing. And so more people want to be doing similar things in their own communities. And so it's great to see people's Inception stories. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like a superhero origin story. It's like Spider-Man. No, seriously, think about it. It's like everyone wants to know, so Spider-Man, how did you get your start? So it's kind of like that. It's neat. So, Brody, can you tell me about how long have you been on board? And can you tell me a little bit about that?
I first worked here in 2017. So I'm thinking that's like almost 4 years since I've worked here. I've worked here for almost 4 years now.
And Josh, this must be interesting to you to meet Brody as a neurodiverse person and see him have such a meaningful experience and a successful experience in the food industry, right?
Yeah, definitely. You have no idea. This is because I know from personal experience that the food service industry is, to say it's high paced is understatement. From a couple restaurants I worked at, things I know this, and high intensity. So what is the training process like, and how do you make employees feel supported at work in such an environment?
So did we have to go through training before we opened?
Right.
Do you remember coming and doing that? Do you want to tell them about that? What did our training, what did we talk about?
I think we talked about like baking some cookies and making some ice cream. Like if we make some ice cream, we put the ice cream in the freezer, let it freeze, and then we put it out here in the cooler in the dining area.
Yes. So we did a 2-week-long training before we even opened with all of our special team members, didn't we?
We sure did.
Do you remember having to come for 2 weeks?
Yes.
And what do you do now?
It sounds like a really, really cool program. And as someone who kind of has created and maintained and scaled similar programs and making sure that neurodiverse employees and trainees are supported and able to have meaningful experiences in all different kinds of work environments, it's really exciting to see that just down the block from me now, there's another really incredible program doing something somewhat similar in a different way, but with similar outcomes. Really, really exciting stuff. And that said, we've all been through kind of the same difficult situations over the past year and a half or so. During 2020, the world kind of shut down. How did you folks, as a business, pivot to adapt to during those times? What happened to you guys during COVID?
Well, I think Miss Tommy got a bit nervous if we've all got COVID-19. If we all had coronavirus, we don't need it. We don't want to shut down Sweet Jordan's like it was close last time.
Well, we actually didn't close our doors. We stayed open and we did curbside. Even during that 14-day quarantine, we have a lot of nurses and police officers that come in, and even EMS drivers that come in, and so we kind of knew we had to stay open for them. So we did, and we just did curbside, and then we slowly but surely opened the dining room. We didn't bring our special team members in during those, I would say, about a month or two, because we knew that, a lot of them have compromised immune systems, and we didn't want to risk any of that. So we told our staff, this is strictly on a volunteer basis. If you want to come in and work, you can. But if you don't, we understand, and stay at home. That was 100% our biggest focus was our staff, our special team members, and our support staff that work here too. So there was that, and then we had, but we continued to stay open, and we actually did really well. The first, the first month was not great. It was really hard, especially on a small business kind of model. But after that, it was the more that things opened slowly but surely, it was kind of funny. It was like people were coming and like ordering ice cream curbside. It was almost like that thing that, like, after, and someone told us this, I think from Ben & Jerry's, they say usually after a tragedy, like, ice cream sales go up because it's like a comfort food after a natural disaster. we continued to pay our staff even when we couldn't pay ourselves and couldn't pay the rent and couldn't pay the electric bill. Our biggest focus was paying the staff, which is how we actually got behind on our payroll taxes. And we had a whole thing where we really thought we were going to shut the doors actually back in January. And then we had kind of our saving grace was the Barcelo Fund. I don't know if you know of Dave Portnoy in New York, but yeah, he was kind of our saving grace with that. And
oh, that's awesome. So can you tell us about that? The Barcelo Fund?
So we heard about the Barcelo Fund from my aunt who lives in Columbus, or used to live in Columbus, Indiana, where there is a similar business to ours called Special Dogs. They employ special needs individuals, and it's this really good hot dog restaurant up there. And they received help from the Barcelo Fund. And so my aunt sent us the link to it. It's kind of a God thing. Well, it's 100% a God thing. My mom got the call on January 4th that they needed basically $15,000 by end of business January 5th. To cover our back taxes for payroll and stuff. And when that happened, obviously we were like, okay. So my mom did the only thing she knows how to do really, or the main thing she knows. Oh, our friend is here. She just walked in. My mom did the thing that she does pretty much the best. And she went to her closet and she got on her knees and she started praying. She said, God, I need a miracle. And not 20 minutes later, my aunt sent that text, and she said, okay. So she called the IRS lady back and said, look, I'm going to apply for this. I don't know if it's going to work, but if I can just like tell you guys, yes, they are going to send it. I don't know when I'm going to get this money. I don't think it'll be by tomorrow night, but what do I need to do to show that? And so the IRS lady, like, I can just mentally see her rolling her eyes. And she said, okay, Miss St. John, I'll give you till the 15th. So, and sure enough, Dave, like my mom had just left the bank to say, look, payroll is coming out tomorrow, sales tax is coming out tomorrow, and payroll tax and rent were all due on the 15th. My mom went to the bank on the 14th, and she said, look, I just need payroll covered. If you'll just cover these people's checks. And they said, we can cover up to $5,000, but if you're more negative than that, then we can't do anything. And so she left the bank and drove to my sister's house, which is about 2 minutes drive down the road. And then Dave Portnoy FaceTimed her and said, we're going to help. And so it literally was the day before all of this was due. It was, we all are crying and just overwhelmed. And the community support behind us has always been phenomenal. Like always, whenever everything with TennCare happened, they went to bat for us. And then whenever this happened, it kind of turned into a state and almost a national support that we had then. So it was very overwhelming, and we just give God all the glory for it because it was phenomenal.
All right, awesome. Back to Brody for a sec. I want to hear from you, man.
So what exactly is your favorite part about the workday?
I like to roll cookie dough here at Sweet Jordan's and bag cookie dough and wipe off tables, taking out the trash, and cleaning the bathrooms. And my least favorite part of this job here at Sweet Jordan's is washing the dishes. But I get so aggravated about that sometimes. So
that's okay. That was good.
When I was checking out your website, and we always do before we obviously have conversations like this, I saw something kind of unique that I haven't really seen with a lot of other social enterprises. I saw that you could sponsor a special team member, I believe it says on the site. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Before our foundation had 501c3 status, we were trying to figure out how to pay for job coaches, transportation. We really do a lot. We've had to buy mattresses for some of our specialty members, and it's just because they would tell us like, I'm having to sleep on the floor right now because I don't have, and so, which, it's kind of shocking, but so a sponsorship basically is you helping us fill whatever need they have. We have people that donate anywhere from $10 a month to $100 a month. And so whenever they do a sponsorship online, they'll receive one of our items, that whether it be a dozen cookies, a bag of coffee, one of our cups that has our logo on it, and a handwritten note from a special team member that just says thank you. And but yeah, so those sponsorships goes to help us fill their need. We obviously pay for a few of our job coaches out of pocket for those that don't qualify for job coaches. It's kind of funny to me how some people qualify and some people don't. We have our friend Tammy that works here. She's completely blind and she doesn't qualify for a job coach, and it's kind of mind-boggling. We have to provide transportation for a few of them. Let's see, we provide shirts and clothing for all of them, and then we, like I said, just here and there, we had one family that he told us that his room was too cold, and so we bought him a little space heater. But yeah, it's just stuff like that the sponsorships go to help with. So whenever we have everyone fill out an application, including our specialty members. They have to fill one out. They talk about, do they like to bake? Do they like to talk to people? Do they, take any medications or anything during work? They put in an application, and then we sit down and we interview them, and we talk about them, and we get to know them and what exactly they would need. And then after that, they do about a week of training, not a full week, just because some of them can't do all week long, but about 3 or 4 days of training, just going over, wash your hands as soon as you get here. It's a big one for the food industry. And they get to learn a little bits and pieces, like a little bit of everything we do here. So that's kind of what we do for onboarding. Now, one of the things that we are working on right now with the Friends of Sweet Jordan's Foundation is we are working on hiring our own job coaches from the foundation, because we've had a little bit of a bat with TinCare on trying to get everyone to have a job coach that works here. But Brody has a job coach, and he just helps him stay on task and
That's true.
and get, yes, and we're constantly trying to introduce them to new things, the new tasks that are going to help them grow and get them more, because in the coffee shop you do get to have a little bit more one-on-one conversations with people, and so Brody loves telling everyone all about Paper Mario, the Origami King.
And what were you going to say that next?
I was going to say your VeggieTales. He loves his VeggieTale characters too.
So I want to ask, what do both of you each see for your own futures at Sweet Jordan's?
Well, I want Sweet Jordan's to have like a TV show so everyone can watch the Sweet Jordan show on TV.
That would be cool, wouldn't it? We definitely have a lot of content we could give them.
Yeah, we want to be like just animated cartoons.
Oh, you want to be animated? That would be fun.
Yeah, I want to be animated. I definitely.
You are animated, Brody. I love it. But yeah, that would be really cool. I love that. For us right now, we are looking at expanding into a couple locations that have offered, I had this one place in a town about an hour away, offered us free rent for a few months if we open a Sweet Jordan's there. But I think the biggest thing for us is we bathe everything in prayer before we do it. And so if there's not a family that knows why we do what we do and the heart behind it, which is the special needs team members, if they don't understand that it's about them, then we don't necessarily want to go into that location and partner with them. I think a lot of people kind of see this as a great way to make money, but it's really so much a ministry that we wouldn't have needed Barstool's help if it was about making money, So we want to expand into other locations. Right now, actually, we're about to expand in the form of going into churches. We have one in Louisville that has invited us to come in. We have one in McKenzie, and then which is a town about 15, 20 minutes away. And then we have a church in Nashville that has offered to, they want to have Sweet Jordans in their church, the coffee and then the cookies.
Can we have macaroni here at Sweet Jordan?
We can't have macaroni at Sweet Jordans. We can't serve pasta.
We need macaroni here at Sweet Jordan.
Okay, I'll tell you why in a minute. Hold on. So these churches have invited us to come in so that we can, they can serve their special needs ministry and have them be involved on a regular basis. So that's really cool. That's something we're really, really excited about. But I think that this model needs to be everywhere. It's such an overlooked community of people. It's very easy to miss them, but we don't want people to, because they just have this incredible presence and this joy for life. It's indescribable, really.
What an incredible conversation to be able to share with you all. I can't wait to come down and have some ice cream and some coffee. I'll try to make it down in the next couple weeks. Can't wait to meet you. Thank you so much for being on Sounds Like Autism.
And if I am ever in Tennessee, probably when I surprise visit Dave every once or twice a year. Yeah, I'm doing that, Dave. I would love to stop by too.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
I agree with Jessica. We appreciate it.
Wow, Josh, that was awesome. I'm so glad to be back in the saddle with you and to be exploring the country and the world to find the most inclusive programs and businesses. This was fun. We should do it again.
Oh, we're gonna do it again. We have lots of other states, so that's obvious.
Awesome. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon. Good luck with everything.
All right.
And
All right, enjoy Tennessee.
Thanks. And don't forget to follow us on @SoundsLikeAutism on Instagram. Go to www.soundslikeautism.com for your SLA merch.
Yeah, we have
and
awesome
everything
hats, shirts. Yeah, check this out. I just gotta do the shameless plug. Check out this hat. Beautiful hat. And also all of our products are made by folks on the spectrum. So you're also in a way supporting employment for people on the spectrum when you purchase one of our products.
You sure are. All right. See you next time.
Okay, bye.